Hey everyone, welcome to Midlife Green Glow. I'm Anne-Marie. Here we explore eco-friendly living, natural beauty tips, and practical ways to strive in midlife together. If that interests you, please subscribe and let's get started. Welcome everyone. Now, today I want to share with you how I reset my life in midlife. Midlife is a very trying time and fearful time for many. And I often say to people that midlife is something that you have to actually prepared for. It's nothing to be ashamed of or afraid of. You just have to be positive and mindful about that next stage of your life. It will happen. It's not if it will happen. If means you won't be alive, and all of us want to be alive and enjoy life to the fullest. So I had to focus on three things really. I focus on health, happiness, and just simpler living. I change my habits. That's the first thing. So I became intentional about what I do. And this entails like persons you choose to keep in touch with, or I choose to keep in touch with. I go through my list. Sometimes you have numbers for persons in your phone who you haven't spoken to in years. I'm not saying to you delete those numbers, but I no longer call persons who haven't called to check up on me within a year, within 2 years. No, within a year, you haven't called me, see how I'm doing. It must be that you're very sick. You have misplaced my number for some reason, and I guess you'd make some effort because you must know somebody who knows somebody who knows me, right? Or you're in prison, so you can't call me. So, if that is not the case, I no longer keep in touch with those persons. I dictate or rule how I spend my time, right? And remember, we are speaking about changing habits now. So I'm intentional about persons I keep in touch with. And so I don't let a very long time pass. And, those loved ones, whether family or friends, don't hear from me. I need to know what is happening in your life, what is happening with you. I don't need every single details, but how can I help? How can I be of assistance to you? And so also visit. Sometimes, we use a phone, we use Instagram, all those social media, WhatsApp, whatever, but we don't make time to really visit persons we care about if they're actually in the island that you live, or the country where you live. Try and visit. I meet up for short lunch, even to pray with the person. Or sometimes you really don't have the time because of life, but you can be intentional by visiting the church that the person attends, if that is something that they do or you do. That's a beautiful way to spend some time. You can grab something, grab a meal after church or so. If you even spend 20 minutes of your time doing so with that person after an event, after church service or so, it's really quality time. So I reduce things that no longer add value to my life. I choose healthier routine. I choose sleep. I reduce sugar from my diet. Yes, that will bring you no happiness. I don't eat processed food. And I don't spend any time on negative social media. The next thing I do is focus on my health. pay attention to what you eat, because the older you get is the more likely of you developing pre-diabetes. And when we do those our executive profile, you know, and your A1C comes out a little bit high and you're flagged as being pre-diabetic, take precaution. Immediately change your diet. And you may need some help, like myself, in how should I change my diet? What should I do? A simple way which I found useful is just went in chat and just asked it to develop a 2 weeks pre-diabetic menu for me, and things that you don't eat. Like for me, I don't do most things that are raw, like egg, the tuna, salmons. I just can't, sardine, and all of those things, of course, they are very good for your diet, but for me, my system just doesn't do well. So I'll ask chat not to include that. Or if the country that you live, certain fruits are not readily available, certain things that are not readily available, you can also ask for that to be excluded from your diet. And trust me when I tell you, you're going to get a 14 days proper pre-diabetic menu. You can tweak and change and whatever to suit you. Even when you're at work now, this is exercise. Try and move around more frequently. You know, don't sit at your desk from 8 in the morning until lunchtime that you really get up. Try and take some frequent breaks. If it's even every 20 minutes break, you just get up, stretch yourself, stretch your leg. You know, that's healthier for your system. I try to walk after work. For some persons, I know it might not be possible, but try to incorporate some intentional walks. If it's even on weekends, 30 minutes per day after work. Some of us are joggers. I'm a jogger. I like to run. You can do that as well. But not because you're aging, you know, it doesn't mean that you must become inactive. I always say to persons that in case of emergency or whatever, you must be able to run. You should be able to run for even 10 minutes without stopping, you know. So I keep that up. And the other day unfortunately, I had to do a procedure. And so I was healing and I wasn't able to run. It was worrisome for me because I should be able to run. Yes. Manage your stress. And for those of us who are Christians, I leave everything at the foot of the cross. Okay? So, stress not thyself. So I try not to stress. I know it is easier said than done. And sometimes some situations hit you, you know, and it's healthier if you just sit and cry. If you even cry for 15 minutes, just sit and cry and think of the way forward. Share your stress with people who you deem care about you, your family member, friends. You know, create your village and you share what is happening with you. That's a challenge for me because I am somewhat a private person, but I am trying and I see where it is working. During midlife, you have to become more intentional and focus on how you live sustainable. So products that you usually purchase, you know, you have to be mindful, read your labels, just don't take up just about anything. And I tell people, this is not just about food that you eat, but also about the products that you use in your home. If you can choose those that are eco-friendly, those that are green labeled, you know, from a recognized body that had vetted all the ingredients that is in this product, then those are the product that you should purchase, especially if it is doing what it claim it can do, because sometimes we see on these bottles, oh, it claim lime scale and get rid of mildew and all of that, and it costs so much. Usually those products cost a lot, I can tell you. And then when you purchase it and you start using it, and you, of course, you read the instructions to ensure that you're using it correctly. And the big disappointment, this thing not removing a thing, it more to remove something else, off my body, but not that. Remember to wear your gloves. So invest in your gloves. If you're cleaning, just cover your hands, chemical gloves, that will protect you well. And don't expose your skin to chemical. If it's even dishwashing liquid, put on some gloves on your hands, so your skin is not treated harshly. Find joy in the simplest of things. For me, is getting up. I love to garden. So I purchase seeds and my seedling trays, soil, and I garden. It brings me joy and satisfaction. So when I get home in the evening, I actually look forward to going around the back and watering my plants. You can develop a relationship with your plants. You speak to them. How are you doing? Try to kill the pests from them, because I try not to use pesticides or insecticides on my plants. So I try to kill the pests whenever I see them. So do things that bring you joy. Keep your thoughts peaceful. I align my thoughts with the words. I know everybody's not Christian, but I try to align my thoughts with the words of God. So keep a peaceful, clear mind. Unforgiveness is one of the things that bug people down. This video is not about that, unless it will take all day. But try and keep your thoughts pure and simple, and do things that bring you joy. It could even be just stopping by with your neighbor or somebody on the road and have a simple, encouraging conversation with that person. We may not know what persons are going through, so just stopping sometime, having a word of encouragement, to just hi, when you ask somebody hi, how you're doing, don't just say that like it's just something to say, but you don't stop and listen, because we never know what persons might be going through. If you are one of the fortunate ones who can have a peaceful walk in the mornings, for me, I prefer to walk in the mornings, but that's not really possible unless it's on a weekend. Try and incorporate that in your busy schedule. Have peaceful mornings, especially by walking. And try to pace ourselves in terms of when we should leave the house, and don't just get up and be in this rush. And so the takeaway from this video is that this is our midlife time. It's not a midlife crisis. It's just some changes that we are going through, and we have to change our life accordingly. And most importantly, focus on happiness every day, and of course, the Almighty. Thank you for joining me, and remember to hit that subscribe button. Please, I'm begging you to subscribe to this channel, and like and share. Have a wonderful day.